Hello everyone and welcome to the Old Spice Matterhorn 355 here at the Old Spice Road Course in Montana. We are ready for 50 laps around this road course, some of the biggest lap count. However, this course is very short. Lap times only consisting of about 48 to 50 seconds, meaning we could see some very quick racing and some great battling around this short road course. Tib Foster, the road course ace, three-time road course winner, starts on pole. Alongside him is the Road America winner, Colton Lane, starting in second. Both of these drivers have road course prowess. We'll see if they can get themselves into victory lane, starting up in front. In row 2 is Matty Porta, the driver that has never won on the road course, even though he's always qualified up front and always been competitive. This is his first road course this season that he is not on pole, but a first, and a third for qualifying shows the speed for Sauber Racing Team. Can they finally capitalize today and get that first road course victory with Porta? Jefferson in row 2 with him, but you also got Bobo Jones in the Smithfield colors this week, and Matthew Brown, the Crown Royal 300 winner from this season, rolling off in 6th in that R&D number 01. William Duncan and Zach Rogers in this row 4, an interesting row 4 with Dytex road course ringer and a road course ringer in the Harmon Benning Peterson colors. Let's see if HBP could get another top 10. Possibly even fight for a win. Rogers isn't that bad of a road course driver. Logan Cloud rolls off 9th, and Matt Sladek rounds out the top 10. Looking further back, you got Aiden Smith, another road course ringer in the GM Motorsports number 72. You got Diego Yepes, not too shabby of a road course racer, nor is Dusty Neal, but another ringer in Austin Delgado rounds out in P16 for Reed Racing. DJ Curtis right there in 19th, but Larry Hagan, your last time out at a road course, he won at Pensacola. And Joseph Strigley, the one that almost stole the show at Pensacola, rolls this number 63 off in 18th. DJ Curtis right there in 19th. Again, multiple times this season he's been in contention for a win, but hasn't gotten it yet. Starts higher than his championship rival Brady Burkhart. Let's see what he can do in that number 5. Jeffrey Finguy here for the number 79. He is in for Evernham. He's their road course ringer in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, getting him his debut Cup Series start. Mac Johnson in the 2-car this weekend, since Bobo is in the 95. You got Francois Chastain, a Butcher Gatorade Motorsports development driver, being shelled out to the JSR program. Last time out at Nashville, they came home with a 3rd place with Max Anderson. Let's see if Francois can beat that lap time. And there is Max Anderson in the 51, carrying a lot of momentum into this Johnson Performance ride this weekend. Lotus Disparito and her debut at Nashville got them a top 20, so we'll see if JP can get up there and contend for a race win. KT Larson, the British female driver here in the Dr. Pepper Dash Series in Molson Modified, she makes her 2nd start of the season at another road course, this time with BKR. And rounding you near the back, you see Gatlin Downey, Danny Lloyd, Casey Mears, and Christian Vargas. You see in the 07-08, those 2 road course ringers as well. Brady Burkhart, a big story here, rolling off in the 38th position, right beside teammate Jacob Edson in 37th. SBR did not nail a road course setup this weekend for these guys. Brady will have to have his work cut out for him if he wants to continue with another top 10. And Peter ONJACK rolling off 39th, Cody Goforth in 40th. Heartbreaking for these two, which were looking to do well this weekend as they make their charge towards the chase with only 6 races to go, 5 to go after this event. We'll see if these two get themselves back into the fight. But we are ready for 50 laps here at Old Spice. 40 drivers, the biggest field of the season, and it is the first time since Daytona we have had 2 drivers go home. That was the 87 of the SBR Riley Spurley Tube and the 61 Hagen Enterprises machine of Jacob Rose. We're ready to go racing here at Old Spice. Let's go ahead down trackside for the commands to fire the engines here for the Old Spice Matterhorn 355.
Drivers, start your engines.
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for the fastest qualifier in all 26 Sundrop Cup Series races this season. This week it's Tib Foster, a road course ace in himself, the winningest road course driver in the NSDCA, looking to take yet another victory here at Old Spice. The first time the Cup cars are coming to Old Spice, the first time any national series outside of the Mountain Dew Custom Series has headed to the Old Spice road course. We're ready to see some great action. The shortest road course on the schedule for 50 laps here at the Old Spice Matterhorn 355. With that, the engines are fired. We're ready for 50 laps here at the Old Spice Road Course. This course is very different from the rest of the courses on the schedule. Of course, it's different in length. This race course is only 1.5 miles, just a bit over 1.5 miles as you go around here. Meanwhile, you had Pensacola and Road America, which are both 5 and 4 miles respectively. And then, of course, Watkins Glen Mosport, about 2 to 3 miles between them. But looking at this here, this brand new racetrack, of course, second year in the NSDCA. The MDCS debuted here last season. This section right here, you saw into turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. Right here, this very sharp corner. This is a good passing opportunity. If you can mount a charge, get a run, you can get a run coming down here. Stay right behind him because this part of the course is going to be fast. You're going to be basically one groove. If you're on the outside, I don't think you're going to be able to hold off too much. But you come down here, there's the pit exit, and the difference between this and other courses, you know, the pace car usually leads you down to very close to the start-finish line. You got maybe another half a mile that you just got to pace around, so the leader really does dictate that. Through this banked corner, you're going to be reaching probably the fastest speeds on the course right here, but into the final corner is where the passing is going to be. This final hairpin, people are going to be diving under each other, trying to make spots up, and it's going to be entertaining. But the restarts are going to be hectic because you are restarting in this hairpin. Speaking of the starts, we are ready to go racing. Green flags in the air. Foster leads them down, and we are racing here at the Old Spice Road Course. Clean up front. Foster's going to move up and go in front of Colton Lane. And as we said, this corner right here is going to be a good passing opportunity as this race progresses. And in through this little complex here, Porta's going to clear himself into second. Now the Monster Motorsports guys fight amongst themselves for that third position as Bobo Jones looks to the inside. Now you got Matthew Brown up there. Jones now getting a run on Porta, but Foster already starting to pull away in that 40 car as he's going to take that race lead early, coming on through right there. And now there you go through these corners, through the high banked corner here, and coming down into the hairpin is where these passing opportunities are going to be. We're going to go ahead and throw the flyby here as you see the early dive bombs. Brown dunking to the inside. Austin Delgado back there. Look at Wallace Jr. Kukulon back there. Casey Mears throwing it 3 wide early, but lap 1 completed here. Porta and Foster absolutely checking out from the field already. It's not a very big margin, but Bobo Jones has already lost a second on Foster in that number 95 car. Now Matthew Brown up to 4th. Look at William Duncan in 6th. Last time we were at a road course at Pensacola, he came home 3rd, a career high in the upper series divisions for William Duncan. It was nice to see him there, and he's a strong road course racer. Has 2 wins at Watkins Glen as he won the Dr. Pepper Dash Series race a week ago at Watkins Glen. But it's great to see William Duncan out here in this 29 car fighting up in front. Again, we're going to throw another flyby there. As you see up front, they're kind of single filed out, but Dusty Neal making a move on Matt Sladek. Morris, Finguy, Bowers making moves there as the field comes on in. But at the back, you're really just trying to work your way through. And this course is a bit harder to pass. The drivers have said that it's a bit more difficult than like Road America, Watkins Glen to pass. Road America is more technical, so you really got to nail those corners or you end up going off. But this track, there's a lot of runoff. It's a very wide track, so you're really just running any line you can, and there's not much passing through like this middle portion of the course. But on this back end and the front end, you're going to be seeing a lot of moves. As you see, Porta is trying to hang on right there with Foster, and you see you're going to get some draft coming through here as well. Foster a bit higher there in that 40 car as they head down into the final corner once again. Porta too far behind, but Foster hanging on out in front. You see, interesting there, it's a bit wider of a shot. You don't want to really be on that rumble strip at the bottom and making the corner at the bottom. You're not going to have a good run coming off down this long straightaway as you head over the bridge. And that's another interesting feature. You got the famous bridge here at Old Spice over the river that runs underneath the track. Nice to see that right there. Larry Hagan already picking up some spots there as he's fighting Ryan Butcher. Looks like that is the first battle on track right now as they go. Matt Sladek, Austin Delgado further up there. It looks like Sladek's going to dive to the inside. Dusty Neal's going to go wide. Delgado's in that fight. And back up front, we're just making sure. Porta looked a bit wide there. And, man, you really get close coming out of these corners trying to keep it straight. So we're going to have to hope that these guys are all safe coming through this road course here at Old Spice. Jay Jefferson now looking for a move on Duncan. Will he be able to make it work? Down here into the final corner. Not close enough. Right on the back bumper of Duncan, though, as they come off. Jefferson's not going to be able to make that stick. Foster in and Porta have absolutely pulled away. You see the conga line all the way back, pretty much single file all the way back to about Joseph Srigley back here in the 20th position. But even then, they're starting to single file out. It's very hard, again, to get many passing opportunities. You're going to have to dive on in. You're going to have to hope they make mistakes up in front of you as you go around this. But look at that. Porta and Foster, you can't even see Bobo and the rest of the field anymore. They've already stretched out to 3.5 seconds over the field, and you're seeing now how the road course aces here in the NSDCA Sundrop Cup Series, matched with some very strong equipment, can just take off at such a short road course. 5 laps through this event already. Tim Foster in the race lead. We're going to have a flyby coming down the front straightaway. You see Foster and Porta leaving the rest of the field behind. Jones, Brown, and Lane, your top 5 as the rest of the field comes on by, coming on around. In testing, in practice, it was about 20 laps is pretty much the maximum, the absolute maximum. KT Larson was down pit road, must have been, as she is way off the pace now. But the fuel window, we saw people coming in anywhere from lap 13 to lap 20. So it depends on how much you value the tires, how much you're actually pushing the car to possibly get out there and try to make this race on probably 2 to 3 pit stops. You might be able to make 2 if you can somehow stretch it out to lap like 19, 18, but that'd be at the very end of the fuel window. But most likely, probably around lap 15 on to about lap 17 will be the fuel window here, which would be, I believe, 3 pit stops in this race, with the last stint being very slow. But it is a road course in the NSDCA. We don't see very many clean ones, especially the iconic ones such as Road America, Mosport, Watkins Glen. So we'll have to see what the cautions will play out, if the cautions will play out. But Tim Foster, Matty Porta have launched away now from Bobo Jones in third. 4.5 seconds almost. Now Colton Lane's going after William Duncan. Matthew Brown, sorry, in that 01 as they go fighting for that 4th position. Lane on the inside, trying to keep it, trying to make it work as they head down now into the hairpin. Will Brown be able to fight back in that 01? He's right on the back of him, pushes him up a little bit, but it looks like that's going to be that there. No, Lane, a little bit of a checkup coming off the corner, might have got a bit loose, and it's going to be a drag race for that 4th position. Bobo Jones in the 95 starting to pull away, but side by side into turn 1 here as Matthew Brown's going after Colton Lane here at Old Spice. And now Brown's going to try to fight back. You got William Duncan being held up by this. Now Jefferson and Rogers going to make the move, and it looks like Brown is going to be able to get back around. Now Jefferson's there. Zach Rogers in the 06. You do not want to go 3 wide through this very fast section. You're already on the edge of grip coming through here. And see the cars kind of sliding all around coming through here, and Jefferson's going to let Duncan back on by. Matty Porta and Tim Foster pulling away to a very strong lead here at Old Spice. We'll see if this lead will be able to last as they head on around here at this very short road course. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break, bring guys back to the action here at the Old Spice Matterhorn 355 in the Sundrop Cup Series.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Back live here at the Old Spice Matterhorn 355. Battle for the 7th position right now between William Duncan and Zach Rogers. Nice to see HBP coming out here. They were a late entry and made the field in that 06 car with Zach Rogers. So it's in a partnership with TSR to get Rogers in the car, but Rogers is a very strong road course racer in that 06, and right now he is showing it. Started this race 8th. He is up to what is the now 6th position as he passes William Duncan there. Porta and Foster have been all over each other this race, and we wanted to point out KT Larson did not come down pit road for no reason. There was no mechanical issue or anything. She was penalized for passing before the start-finish line on the start of the race as she dove 3 wide on the 51 of Max Anderson, picking up a spot, so she was penalized, had to come in, serve her penalty. She is now in the 40th spot. Looking at the back here, Danny Lloyd in 39th, Stephen Wallace Jr. 38th, Vargas 37th, Downey 36th, Edson 35th, Eves 34th, Goforth up to 33rd, Burkhardt up to 32nd as he fights Carter Friesen, and Peter ONJACK has broken his way into the top 30 after starting this race 39th. Not too strong of a road course racer, but can hang up there with the big dogs, trying to move his way through the field. Delgado looks like he's been slipping. Francois Chastain, first time in a cup car, first time in anything since Mosport last year. DPDS full-time driver in the number 01. But anything national, anything really televised there in that 36 car, this is his first time out in just under a half a year. Mac Johnson in the 2 for Monster Motorsports, driving the R&D car up inside the top 20 nicely. There's Jeffrey Finguy in the 79, now going after DJ Curtis, it looks like, for that 18th position, and he's going to try to make that move. Joseph Strigley in the 63, not running as well as he did at Pensacola, but right now still in the top 20, a nice thing to see there for that 63 team. And GM Motorsports, of course, after that fiasco a couple weeks ago, General Motors has taken ownership of the team for the remainder of the season, filling out the remainder of the contracts on the 72 truck, 02 Mountain Dew Custom Series car, and Aiden Smith's few races that were signed to the team earlier this season. Looks like there was some, there was some skid marks down there. Let's go to the back real quick. Might have been Stephen Wallace Jr. has some damage to that 65, so we'll get a replay if anything did happen. If it didn't, it won't show on your screen probably. But Matthew Eves now in the 47, looking to the inside of Friesen. The battle's really happening in the back, because up in front, Porta and, whoa, 3 wide almost. Yeah, they're going to be 3 wide. Duncan, Jefferson, you guys got to watch yourselves there with Aiden Smith. This is the battle, it looks like, for about 9th, 10th, and 11th as they come on through. And Duncan on that inside line, but Smith is going to go even lower. This is one of the corners. The inside line is actually better than kind of running it out wide. And Matty Porta is actually taking the pass for the lead as now they are side by side. Porta's your new race leader. I guess he's been that for a lap because he has just gotten by Tib Foster. And now Matty Porta is out in front here at Old Spice. 14 of 50 complete. Porta is out there battling as the rest of the field going, but these front 2 are in a league of their own. 6 seconds ahead, 7 seconds almost over Bobo Jones, 10 seconds over the 05 of Colton Lane, and 11 seconds over Diego Yepes in 5th. These 2 are hungry for a road course win this season. Both of them had chances at Pensacola and at Road America, and now pretty much if this race goes green, you're going to have to hope that these 2 play a horrible strategy call, because if not, if they make it to the end of this event, they might start lapping people at a 1.5 mile road course, which that could be insane. The 01, 06 have come down pit road, so they are starting those green flag pit stops here at Old Spice, and hopefully this pit road's a bit dangerous to come out. You're coming out just basically straight onto the track, as you see there with Matthew, with the 01 of Matthew Brown. So there's your top 2. There is the 95 of Bobo Jones back there. Now Yepes passing Colton Lane. I think one more driver is coming out of pit road. That's Danny Lloyd right back into traffic. That is a very sketchy pit road exit. Hopefully the drivers and the spotters will be able to make it through clean. Now you're going to see, you saw that 42 was really making moves. You're going to see now how big of a difference new tires are versus the old tires. Look at Lloyd just blows by the 77 and 05, and they are flying up. Now the 01 is caught and past the 40. Now he's going to move around Matty Porta and real close to him, almost getting onto the grass there. But look at that. Even on the outside, he just outbrakes him so fast, and he's going to be able to clear back around him. There's Carson Bowers now coming off of pit road. So right now, there's no real report as Bowers comes right back out onto that 01. So there's your top 2. It looks like the 79, the 1 have come on in as well. Bobo Jones and the 95 coming across, but there's the 51. He's on in, so it looks like some of the further back drivers in the field are the ones coming out. There you see Vargas going to merge on out, so it looks like if you're single file, you should be able to come out easily, as Vargas was able to get by, but 2x2, if you're side by side with someone coming down this front straightaway, that could be scary. KT Larson, an extended stay on pit road for them. The camera's not really good for this pit road, so I apologize for that, but Larson and Mears are both down pit road we're going to go ahead and throw the camera right here to see who else comes on in as they come on around 16 of 50 complete. So we are pretty much in the middle of what could be the beginning of this fuel cycle. So you saw some of the back markers were the first ones in, but it doesn't look like a lot more drivers are coming on in. So if you're looking at it, if you come in on lap 15, like some of these, and man, you just see, look at Bobo just get gapped by that 42. So there is a chance that at the end of this race, it could be who has the fresher tires that could drive faster through this field. Lloyd has just flown away. He passed Bobo on the straightaway. Now he's at least maybe half a second ahead now from them. There you see Finn Guy working on by. So Matty Porta is your race leader in the 20 as they run right now, and he's still not coming on in. So we'll keep the camera here once again. But Porta's out in front, Foster in second, Bobo Jones third, Diego Yepes in fourth, and Colton Lane fifth. So this is a very strong run right now for the Monster Motorsports guys. There's Colton Lane in, William Duncan in contact, Dusty Neal and Aiden Smith spin into pit road. Will that bring out a caution? No caution, but that is going to destroy Dusty Neal's chances here, as well as Aiden Smith. They make contact coming onto pit road. Heavy damage for both of them. And that is huge for the battle for this top 10 in points, because Dusty has fallen back to 5th in points. He gained a lot at Nashville. There you see Porta now getting passed by the 51 of Anderson. So you got to be safe heading onto this pit road. It's a very interesting pit road. Now you see Porta and Foster are going to come on in 18 laps through this one. And we'll see who else comes in, or if anyone will stay out, try to get a different strategy on them. That, I believe, is Bobo Jones in the 95 coming on in. There is Yepes coming on in the 77. And, of course, we'll get the replays to you shortly. And it looks like that could be the rest of the field coming on in. And there's ONJACK in, Murray, Goforth. And, yeah, I think that is going to be everyone else in this event coming on in down pit road. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel. There's no other choice for it. It's 4 tires and fuel is what you need to do. And we're going to look through. And Bowers, yes, Bowers has come in, I believe. He did, yes. So he will be the first driver out, depending here. Maybe Zach Rogers. Maybe some of these guys did. Zach Rogers is going to be your race leader in the 06 on that undercut. Harmon Benning Peterson is now your race leader here at Old Spice. Bowers is second. KT Larson's a lap down. She had an extended stay on pit road. That's second time. We'll see if there was an issue there. But Bowers is now second. Porta third. Matthew Brown fourth. Foster fifth. Delgado sixth. Finn Guy seventh. Jones eighth. Mears ninth. Yepes your top 10. So now Harmon Benning Peterson is possibly on their way to getting a very strong run here at Old Spice. We're going to take a quick replay, get you the pit report, get you everything. Caution is out. There is a caution on the front straightaway, it seemed. It looked like Sebastian Kukulon. Finn Guy is coming on in now once again, so maybe that's trying to short pit this or some kind of strategy. But Zach Rogers, your race leader, right after green flag pit stops. We have a caution. Must have been coming off a pit road because there's skid marks coming from there. So now there's a lot to do, a lot to talk about, and a lot of drivers have just hit the strategy, put themselves out in front, as Austin Delgado comes straight into the back of Tib Foster. As everyone else is coming on in, trying to catch up. Austin Delgado just ran straight into the back of the 40 car. And that possibly will probably, that's a lot of damage to the 40. That could take him out of contention. So Austin Delgado, and he's back into the back of the 40. So they are not having, Delgado's not happy with Tib Foster right now. I don't know why, but the rest of the field cycling on around now as they come on back. And we will go ahead, get a quick replay. See what happened. That is Finn Guy on pit road, so there must be an issue there. I don't think any... Oh, nope. The field's coming on in, so they are diverging off. Porta, Foster staying out. So those guys that came in, they came in about 7 laps ago, some of them. So it looks like they're just going to try to pit now. You'll have to make one more pit stop in this race, but it could get them fresher tires to let them drive through the field on an ensuing restart. We have a lot to cover here at Old Spice. Bring you guys back to the action after this, but let's go ahead, take a quick replay, and see what happened. Looking back at the 94 and 72 incident, Neal looked like he just tried to come down pit road, did not see the 72, and just cut right across from him. So that's really a spotter issue there. The 94 comes in, and the 72, heartbreaking for Aiden Smith, was running pretty well, and he runs right into the wall, damage to that car. The reason for the caution, though, was off of pit road. Logan Cloud and DJ Curtis side by side coming on through. And the 50 goes into the wall, pinched into the wall with some damage to the side of that car, damage to both Monster Motorsports cars. That's not going to be good at the team meeting. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break, bring us back to the action here at Old Spice after this.
Old Spice Odor Blocker Body Wash is so powerful it can block BO for 16 hours. Its blocking power is as powerful as me.
Yeah, it is.
Who said that? Is that my left bicep? No. It was my
abdominals.
Odor Blocker Body Wash is too powerful to let this commercial in. Block. Building kick. Explosion! Power!
Lights on the pace car have gone out here at Old Spice. Matty Porter, your race leader. Tim Foster with some damage in second. Bobo Jones third. Diego Yepes fourth. Colton Lane fifth. Duncan sixth. Butcher seventh. Mac Johnson up to eighth. Morris ninth. And Danny Lloyd 10th. The issue with the 79, they lost a cylinder in the 79. Tried to repair that on pit road. The 42 last pit on lap 13, so he's already 8 laps on those tires. Colton Lane, Duncan, Neal, Smith, Butcher, Morris, Johnson, DeLello, Gibson, Burkhart, Edson, Stephen Wallace Jr., and Friesen, pit on lap 17. Porta, Foster, Jones, Yepes, Sladek, Jefferson, Strigley, Hagen, not Max Anderson, Francois Chastain in the 36, ONJACK, Murray, Goforth, Kukulon, Eves, and Downey, pit on lap 18, and the rest of the guys you saw come in on lap 20. Coming back around, green flag's back in the air. We're racing once again here at Old Spice as we go back racing. And Porta with a big jump. Brady Burkhart sent into the inside wall off the bat. Foster a bit slow on that restart, but we'll see how that damage will affect him as Brady Burkhart got sent in that number 99, heavy front-end damage to him, and now on the side, so Burkhart might be really struggling here in these closing laps on this second half of the race. Joseph Strigley making a big move. Johnson has been shoved out as now Diego Yepes moves himself into third. Jones back to fourth. Lane battling Butcher now for that fifth position, but you see it is mainly you really want to just be single file coming on through here, waiting until this final corner here. As you see Bobo looking to the bottom, now going to be possibly making a dive down here into the final corner. Not going to happen. Further back, they are almost 3 wide. Gibson, Jefferson coming with a big run, but Danny Lloyd in the 42, he stayed out. His laps 8 laps older than some of these drivers, maybe 6 laps older than some of these drivers, but he was also up to speed for most of those 6 laps. So now this 42 car, he's going to be dropping like a rock through the field. Must have just been trying to get some track position, hoping for an early caution there. Now Yepes clear into third. Let's see if this driver, who only has 1 road course victory back in Season 1 5 years ago, in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, he won Road America on pit road. We'll see if Yepes can throw himself into the ring here. Butcher Gatorade Motorsports coming off of their 3rd win on the season. They have won 3 of the last 5 events. Pocono with Yepes, and Darlington and Nashville with Morris. Now Yepes up here in 3rd trying to contend. You got Morris further back. He's inside the top 10 now in that 55, chasing down William Duncan there in the 29. Duncan sitting in that 7th position as they come off the corner. Now Jones coming back. There is Larson back out on the track. So Larson's really been having a poor day. That 23 car is not up to speed. She's complaining of a lot of issues in that 23, so it doesn't look like Larson's going to be running very well today. You see Porter's pulling away, but Foster, that damage doesn't seem to be hindering him badly as he's still in 2nd and chasing down Porta and has made a gap over Yepes and Jones. It's going to be harder to handle this 40 car now, and I honestly don't think he'll be able to win this race, but there's still an opportunity. Him and Porta have just been above the field today very far. This could be Porta's best chance now that his biggest competitor is probably damaged, but Porta really, Foster's not letting him go. It's still only about a 2nd between the two, and Foster's only losing maybe a 10th a lap, which could be down to driver error around this track. So really, this doesn't seem like it's hurting Foster too badly here. We are halfway through this race. Next time by will be on the second half of the race. So Matty Porta out in front, Foster second. That's been the story this whole race. Yepes into third, Bobo Jones fourth, and Colton Lane fifth. Look at that. Yepes is not on Monster Motorsports this season, but you know he's in that, looking in that rearview mirror, very happy seeing the 95 and 05 right behind him. KT Larson's a lap down, but Butcher is sixth. William Duncan hanging on in seventh. Morris eighth. Mac Johnson showing what he wanted to do at Road America before he was in that crash. He runs in ninth, and Matt Sladek sits 10th for SBR. Joseph Strigley up to 11th. He last came in on lap number 18, so he has fairly fresh tires compared to the rest of the grid. Most of the guys with the fresher tires than him restarted at the back of this grid, and now Sladek all over the back of Mac Johnson up there. But Joseph Strigley trying to show that he has that road course speed again. He was very strong at Pensacola, and now he's up in the top, right now just outside the top 10 here at Old Spice. But now Jay Jefferson in that 48 is going to contend with him, battle for that 11th position. Look at DJ Gibson back there. Peter Onjak in the 44 is up here. You got the 36, Francois Chastain. JSR has really shown these last few weeks that entering a second car was not that bad. At Texas World, Jacob Rose did not drive their car very well in that 36 car, as it was unsponsored very far back, but now they have sponsorship. And Max Anderson, caution is out. Yellow back on the track, so we are under caution once again, as Foster was actually catching Matty Porta there in that 20 and 40. And that'll be right there. Coming back around, looks like Casey Mears, DJ Curtis. His season going from great to now bad, as he's dropped 2 spots after last week, was stuck behind Colton Lane and now has damage from that. Zachary DeLella might have damage. Man, that 42 dropped like a rock. Danny Lloyd all the way at the back of this one, even behind Jeffrey Finguy, who's pretty much running half an engine in that car. But now we got to figure out what is going to happen here in these closing laps. What is the strategy now? You got just over 20 laps to go. It's going to be 23 to go this time by, so you cannot make that on one fuel stop. Do you pit now and pit again in this race? Do you stay out, keep the track position, stay out of the trouble that's possibly brewing in the back, and keep that car up front where it needs to be? Or, well, that's the only 2 chances. You either stay out or you pit. And the front guys, I'd probably stay out. Just keep the track position as you come on around here, and that's what they're going to do. You got to keep the track position. You're not going to make it to the end if you pit here anyway. DJ Gibson is going to be the first one diving off, though. Cody Goforth, Austin Murray as well. The rest of the field, it's going to be 4 tires and fuel. There's Burkhardt coming on in. They got to repair that car big time. I believe that was Dusty Neal in the 94 back there. I saw Brown come in, Rogers coming on in. So some of these back guys who just pit on that recent caution coming back in, you're not going to lose too many spots, so why not? Plus now your tires might be really good, really much better than the rest of this grid. But as you see, they come through that final corner. We'll get you guys back to the action after this, but we got a couple replays to catch up to first. Incident down in turn 1 today. The 42 of Danny Lloyd just gets turned by Stephen Wallace Jr. right up and almost into the wall. Just barely keeps it off, but further up, that's not the reason for the caution. Aiden Smith in the 72 is going to get into it again. He slides around and then gets hooked by Cloud. Into the back of him goes the 51 of Max Anderson, and that spins that 72 into the wall. So some heavy damage to Aiden Smith after multiple incidents today. This is our second caution of the day here at Old Spice. Lights on the pace car go out here at Old Spice. Matty Porta in the race lead. Tip Foster in second. Diego Yepes third. Bobo Jones fourth. Colton Lane fifth. Ryan Butcher sixth. William Duncan seventh. Brandon Morris eighth. Mac Johnson ninth. And the 30 of Matt Sladek rounds out your top 10. First driver that came into pit right there. Logan Cloud, first one out. He will roll off the 26th position. There's Casey Mears there, 25th. So the top 25 did stay out. So these guys now, they cannot make it to the end here. There's still 22 laps to go, but they might have enough time to make it back. One car still on pit road. That's DJ Curtis in the 5. Nothing there, so don't know what happened to that 5 team. Only one, no drivers out in this event. One car 4 laps down. That is KT Larson in the 23. Matty Porta out in front. Foster second. Yepes third. Bobo Jones fourth. Larson is that 5th car in line, but we'll see what this top 4 can do and see if Yepes and Jones have anything for the top 2 dominant cars of the day. Porta and Foster lead us back around. Coming back out. Green flags back in the air here at Old Spice. We are racing once again here at the road course. And again, you got to watch coming out of there. Of course, it's a restart. You're coming out of a sharp corner, so you might accidentally jump someone like KT Larson did, or you might actually get into someone like what happened with Brady Burkhart. As they come on through there, Larson trying to get at least one of her laps back, now to the inside of Bobo Jones. William Duncan back there in the 29 making a move on Butcher with help from fellow Toyota driver Brandon Morris back there. But it looks like Lane, Duncan, they're going to stay single file, but Larson is fighting Bobo Jones. She wants that spot. She wants to show that she can fight with the big dogs, even though she's 4 laps down. That's going to be contact with the 93. Nice save between or 95. Nice save between them, but I don't think Bobo's going to be too happy with a driver 4 laps down, almost putting him into the wall. Battle for that 5th position now. William Duncan fighting Colton Lane. That's the drag race as they come off the corner there. Top 3 starting to pull away. Bobo Jones leaving them behind, but KT Larson there in the 23. Curtis is coming back out. Please do not hit anyone, and he doesn't. Nice there to see those guys able to get Curtis back out there, but DJ now multiple laps down in that 5 car. Tim Foster still trying to catch up to Matty Porta. I don't think it's going to happen with that much rear end damage. And cars down pit road. Brady Burkhart down pit road. Max Anderson down pit road. So not sure what that is about. That might be serving penalties for a restart violation. Again, there's not much you can do without moving the start-finish line away from that corner to really avoid these possible penalties for restart violations, because again, you're basically coming off of a very slow corner that you can make moves on. And as I said, Tim Foster, that rear end damage not affecting him. He is all over the back of Matty Porta down this front straightaway as they go at it right now, possibly for that race lead as they head down into turn 1 once again. You saw a bit further up Burkhart and Max Anderson coming back out. We'll get an official report as soon as possible, but most likely if that was a restart violation, again, with that restart zone being in that hairpin corner, you're pretty much going to either have to dive around people not to run into them with them all checking up in that corner, or you just got to, stay behind them and lose at least like a few seconds right off the bat. So maybe the NSDCA will take a look at that for future action. But right now, the top 2 pulling away. Yepes all alone in that 3rd position. Once again in that 77 as he's pulled away. Back and forth is Bobo Jones. 5th, William Duncan. 6th, Matt Sladek. Look at Peter ONJACK from 39th up to 9th in that 44 and gaining. Very strong run there. Morris and Lane almost got together. They both slow down, and that's going to allow ONJACK to get a 2-for-1 deal at Menards as he goes right past both of them. The Monster Energy and Gatorade cars. Don't know if they sell that at Menards, but right now ONJACK just passed both of them. He's now into the 7th position, and look at who's popped his way into the top 10. Joseph Strigley, a lovable underdog here at these road courses. One of the best road course racers out there in this Cup Series right now. He's right now fighting his way just outside the top 10 as Bowers goes by him. Now you see Larry Hagan getting around Jefferson. I wonder if they'll do another shake and bake strategy like they did at Pensacola, where Jefferson led the whole race in that last stint, just let Larry Hagan sit behind him in the draft, save that fuel, and Larry Hagan went on to win that race. But right there, they are fighting up in front, though. We're taking another look. Foster not able to catch up to Porta that time. He's losing a bit, but they are still in the draft of each other. These two have been the class of the field all day. If one of these two is not the winner, that is an absolute shame for both of them. But that is also an absolute drive, absolute outsmarting. However it is that if someone can beat these two today, you need a miracle to actually happen, or just some major strategy. William Duncan in the top 5. Can't say enough about this young gun here on the road courses. He got his last road course victory over at Watkins Glen a little bit, but right now this 29 team running very strong today. A top 5 performance. It looks like their road course program really good. They DNQ'd the start of the season for the Sundrop 500 with Scott Roush, but Duncan, basically the leader of Ditech, up here in that 5th position. Matt Sladek going to try to throw it in, trying to get a run because he sees that very hungry 44 behind. And honestly, if there's anyone that could stop those top 2, I wouldn't look much further than ONJACK. Sure, it's been, a wild race. You got strategy possibly getting him up front, especially the pit stops. He pit on lap 18, so that might have gained him some, but he was driving through the field. He was up to 31st after only a few laps, and he's up inside the 7th position. This 44 team is bad fast, and another driver, Cody Goforth, didn't even notice. He's inside the top 10 now, as he's probably just made his way up there, but he started this race 40th, so the back row on the grid must have been running a race setup because they are bad fast in this 44 and 27 right now, moving their way through the grid. Joseph Strigley now is is 10th as Cody Goforth was 9th. See the rest of the field coming on through there. Colton Lane ducking down pit road. That 05, he pit on lap 17. Now it's been 17 laps through the event. Zachary DeLello coming on in. They were some of those early pitters. The 06, 08, I think, have damage. There you see Foster's going to dive it on in. So that's what's going to happen here. Duncan, Butcher, Mac Johnson, Morris, Edson, and Friesen, they all also came down on lap 17. They might be coming out. But you got the Porta, Foster, Jones, Yepes, Sladek, Jefferson, Strigley, Hagen, 36, 44, 12, 47, 35. They all came in on lap 18. So they are coming to the edge of their fuel window. Caution is out. Caution is out on the racetrack. There's a bunch of smoke, a bunch of dirt down there in the corner. So now Matty Porta and Foster, they might be saved, but that could also be great for the 05 as Foster really dives it in right on the back of Porta. Not going to make it work, but he was trying to get that spot away, and Porta will lead him back to the caution. And now with 14 laps to go in this race, everyone needs to come down under the yellow flag and get that, but you got Colton Lane who got out in front of him. He might be able to snag the race lead away from this field as they come on around. One car still on pit road. If we can get to it, it's DeLello. So there might be an issue there with the 57 team. But Colton Lane might have just snookered this one away from some drivers because he might be able to get back out into the race lead. He has some front-end damage. These guys have been beating and banging at the road course. Of course, it is a road course, but Colton Lane might actually have a shot at winning this, especially if everyone comes on down this time around. That could be big for their running here. But you see pack of cars back here as they're all trying to fight their way through. Pacing around here a bit wonky, but Matty Porta, Tip Foster, right here, there's no choice. You come down pit. You got to come down and pit because if not, you're going to possibly have to make a green flag pit stop. And there you see the whole field coming on in. There should be... Colton Lane should be the only one staying out. Dusty Neal is going to stay out in the 94. He came in on lap 27. But I don't understand. He's going to be having to save a ton. And an absolute ton of fuel. And here comes the rest of the field around. Colton Lane's going to be following shortly, so we'll see if Lane comes and stays out. And he will, so he will take second. But Dusty Neal, I don't know if I can agree with that move. Tip Foster in the 40 team, now they're going to go to work on that car. Don't know if they'll try to buff out the rear, but it hasn't really been affecting him this race, so they might not. They're going over to the right side there, and here comes a good group of cars coming on out. It looks like one car is going to beat him out. That is Diego Yepes in the 77 with a good pit stop. Foster might have beat out Porta, not sure, but it looks like as they come out, it looks like this is just 4 tires. Everyone had to take 4 tires if they didn't beat out Foster and Porta, really, and it looks the same. So that's a 4-tire call for everyone, but Diego Yepes... his team comes in clutch now. He's going to be ahead of both Porta and Foster in those cars. There's DeLello finally bringing that car back out. But Colton Lane, he did just come in a lap ago. His tires might be a bit worn. But Dusty Neal, last pit on lap 27. And he's going to be leading this. We're about to go back racing. But let's go ahead and take a quick replay to see what happens here. What happened here at Old Spice. Couple repeat offenders and crashes today. Now DJ Curtis is going to get to the bottom of Francois Chastain all over the back of him. You also see the 01 on the back of the 5, and Curtis just ends up spinning around that 36. A couple of guys go to the dirt to make it through, and Logan Cloud comes piling on in right into the back of Matthew Brown. So some heavy incidents there, some heavy hits there, but the 36, who was running very well today, gets hooked by DJ Curtis into the tires, or into the grass. A lot of guys had to go through. We'll bring you guys back to the action after this.
Old Spice shaving gel is newer than a fresh pair of socks.
Newer than a New Jersey.
Newer than a new mouse, baby.
Newer than an unopened gift from your stepmom.
Everything's talking.
Newer than the waffle iron that's inside me.
Newer than the new solar panels that were installed on the roof.
And I'm the newest thing there is.
You're not as new as me.
I have a son. What else is new?
Back live here at Old Spice, the NSDCA had to call off that restart because the field was not formed up yet. Road course guidelines, usually only 2 pace laps, so with this being such a short road course, you gotta go quickly. You gotta move quickly to get back in line. The field was not lined up yet. Now they are. Dusty Neal in the race lead. We'll be going back racing now with 12 to go, which is still enough time for all these drivers to make it on through, and it should be enough to, you know, make it to the end of the race, unless you're Dusty Neal. Pit on lap 27 out of 50. That's 23 laps with the fuel window maybe stretching to 18 or 19. We haven't seen anyone go over 18 laps in a fuel run today, and that was the early run, so Neal it's an interesting strategy. Might just be trying to get himself some bonus points, but I don't know. He was crashed out early. Maybe he just didn't want to come in and pit and risk scratching it up again. But Colton Lane's in second. He came in on lap what would be 36. 35 or 36. These guys came in a lap later. So Foster, Yepes, Porta right behind him. Foster beat him out with that first pit stall. He was able to beat out Yepes. So Tib is now in the catbird seat, especially if these top two don't get going, because the 40 and 20 have been bad fast all day. DeLillo's a lap down. You got Bobo Jones, Sladek, Bowers, Goforth, and Duncan, your top 10. Coming on through. We're getting ready to go back racing here at Old Spice. Green flags back in the air. Racing once again at the Old Spice Road Course. Gatlin Downey's going to get turned by DJ Curtis on that restart. Caution is right back out as Colton Lane, Tib Foster making short work of Dusty Neal. And now with a caution, these guys are racing back to another restart. Neal is very slow on those old tires. And there he goes dropping back. Maybe, hopefully, he'll come in this time. But now Foster's clearing to second, chasing down Colton Lane. Porta now making a move on Yepes. We'll see if Foster can get a run here on the race back. But right now, Colton Lane, a very strong road course racer, is out in front. But Foster with a big run here in the 40. He's coming down now through the bank corner. Can he make a run on Lane here in the closing laps? Down into the final corner once again. He's going to throw it in right to the back of Lane. Looks to the bottom. Looking to the bottom. Can he get there? Not going to happen. Lane drag race, and Lane's going to get it back. What a move by Colton Lane. Got right by Neal. Neal's back outside, or out to the 10th position now, it looks like. Here comes the rest of the field now forming back on up. An incident right off the bat. Gatlin Downey, DJ Curtis getting together, so the field now has to form their way back up. Tib Foster tried closely a big move to the bottom on Lane, but that's not going to happen, at least not yet. But now Colton Lane's got to worry because Foster made a move very quickly on him in just one lap, and now he's going to restart right behind him with no chance of using himself moving around Neal to be able to block Foster. So we'll have to see what that does. There shouldn't be anyone pitting. We'll let you know if there is, though, but we'll go ahead and get a quick replay, see what happened to Gatlin Downey. Another incident today, Gatlin Downey, it's a simple spin hooked by DJ Curtis, just like the 36 was, on a restart. 35 around. Bring you guys back to the action right after this. Coming back down the front straightaway, the lights on the pace car should go out soon to mark this as the final lap before the restart to this race. And there they go out right there down in turn number 1. Colton Lane, your race leader. Tib Foster in second, who had a great run on that one-lap dash on that last restart. So Colton Lane in that 05 has to be worried because Foster might be able to make quick work of that 05 if Yepes really doesn't get a run there. But Yepes is third, Porta's fourth, Matt Sladek is fifth, Zachary DeLillo's a lap down, Carson Bowers sixth, Bobo Jones seventh. Dusty Neal did not come down to pit, and with as rapid as he lost positions, I'm not sure if he'll be able... I don't know what the strategy is. Either they're trying to save fuel or what, but the tires are gone. He's probably hoping they just crash till the end. Brandon Morris sits 9th, and William Duncan is 10th. Strigley's up to 11th. Goforth fell back to 12th on the restart. ONJACK 13th, Gibson 14th, Murray 15th, Hagan, Jefferson, Danny Lloyd, Mac Johnson, and Jacob Edson, your top 20. Again, restarts on that little... edge down there on this little hairpin are very tricky. Hopefully they'll be able to last. Casey Mears was taken out of the race. No reason stated other than a disqualification, so I'm not sure what actually happened to Mears. We're going to report on that probably at the end of the race. But green flag's back in the air. Colton Lane now out in front, but Foster is hot on his heels, and here he goes to the inside immediately on the 05 for the race lead. Here comes Tib Foster in the 40 car, and he's going to blow right past Lane into turn 1. Now fighting back and into the race lead. If he can just hang on, he will. Give that to Tib Foster, and now Matty Porta in the 20 has 8 laps to get around Yepes, Lane, and Foster if he wants to take his maiden road course victory. But Tib Foster, that damaged 40, it could slow him down a bit, but it's not slowing him down right now. Into the race lead goes Tib Foster. Looking further back, we want to note that Dusty Neal's still staying out, so this strategy is trying to play well, but I don't think it's a very good strategy. Now Srigley looking to the outside of him down into the hairpin corner, and that outside line can get you a run coming off the corner, and you're going to see Srigley might be able, yes he will, fly right past. Looks like a bit of a stack up there. ONJACK kind of slowed down, but looking back up front, Porta is now into second. He's gotten past both Lane and Yepes, so now Matty Porta has his sights set on Tib Foster. Carson Bowers, where did he come from? He's into 4th after this season. He has 2 runner-up finishes in the last 2 races, and now he's up into 4th. This 25 is coming alive right before the postseason. He's up to 13th in points entering this race. He might make the chase and be inside the top 10 as they run right now. But right now, Tib Foster pulling away in that 40 car. We just have just over 7 to go as they're going to cross the line. This time it'll be 7 to go, and Matty Porta is very far behind. Can he drive up there and catch Foster? Will we have cautions at the end of this race? Will we be able to go green? Usually if you can get out and strung out a bit, they'll stay green a bit, but you also got the 94 of Dusty Neal on those older tires that's going to be very slow. As you see, they're just passing them left and right. This 94 team's trying everything they can to make the postseason. Carson Bowers, what happened to Bowers? Bowers is on pit road. He might have had an illegal move on the restart. That's why he got so far up. And there you see DeLello now making a move past Matt Sladek coming on through. But now Tib Foster in the race lead hanging on has actually probably opened some gap over Matty Porta. And Porta has never been in this position at a road course in a while in that 20. And now I'm just thinking, didn't he win Mosport last year, or did he go off? I forget who won. No, Tib Foster won Mosport last year. Okay, so he still has not won a road course race. I was just confusing myself there for a second. But Matty Porta, the last time he was in this position was Mosport last year. It started raining in turn 1. He went right off, and Tib Foster won the race. Either that or I think Porta might have ran out of fuel, one or the other. But Tib Foster ended up winning the race that Porta was ready to win a road course for. And Porta has not won a road course in the NSDCA. He has 1 win in the JROC at Watkins Glen, but has never won in the NSDCA, and now he is 2.5 seconds behind Tib Foster with 5 to go. I don't think Porta has enough to catch that number 40. Foster would really have to screw up. And these guys, I mean, we do say the fuel window could be 13 laps. And with these guys pitting on lap 37 and 38, that's basically right at the edge of the minimum fuel window. Now, that's minimum if you're really pushing it. Some of these guys could be, especially if you're up front. Maybe Matt Sladek is pushing Colton Lane out of the way. That's a bump and run by the SBR driver trying to make a move around Colton Lane. That is for that 4th position, and a bump and run is going to work out for Matt Sladek as he moves Colton Lane out of the way and into that 4th position. Porta gained a 10th last time by. That's not going to be enough if he wants to catch Foster. As they come through now, it's going to be 4 laps to go this time by as they head down into the hairpin. We're going to have a quick flyby. Tib Foster in the race lead in that hard braking zone. Porta 2nd, 3rd is Yepes. There you see Matt Sladek in 4th. Colton Lane 5th. Bobo Jones 6th. Morris 7th. Srigley up to 8th. Duncan 9th. Larry Hagan with a charge through the field up to 10th. As the rest of the field comes on by, you see them coming down here and into that hard braking zone. Up in front, though, Tib Foster in the 40 trying to win this. Dusty Neal has finally come down pit road. He's 33rd. The tires are going to be much fresher than these guys, but he's so far behind, I don't think he'll be able to catch up. Carson Bowers was up front. He's now 27th there. So the NSDCA is definitely going to have to investigate these restarts. William Duncan's just been passed rapidly, it looked like, because now ONJACK, Gibson are past him. Strigley around DeLello. Strigley is 8th in that 63, trying to hang on to a top 10 run here. But now Tib Foster opened it back up to 2.6 seconds. We started this season with 10 different winners. Texas World, race 11. We had a repeat winner in Jay Jefferson, the first one. Race 12, Nashville, was Brandon Morris repeating after his Darlington victory. And if Tib Foster wins today, or Matty Porta, we will have our 3rd repeat winner this season. Foster gained 4/10 on Porta that time. Damage to the back of the 40 has been a source of conversation this race, but we saw even after that he was keeping up with Porta. He got out ahead of him on pit road. And now Foster's in. These guys are running out of fuel at the end. I thought they could make it to the end. Tib Foster is on pit road in that 40 car. And Matty Porta will grab the race lead away in the number 20. The fuel, we said it'd be right at the edge. Larry Hagan is now in on pit road. So now they are possibly running out of fuel here at the end. This isn't even a bad caution, because these guys pit. These guys would have had to pit anyway around that caution. Now Matty Porta in the 20. He has 2.5 seconds over Diego Yepes. Could this be his race to lose now? And we've seen it time and time again. It comes down to fuel at the end, but I didn't see anyone else come in. There might be a bigger issue with Tib Foster than we thought he had. Yepes in second, Sladek third, but here comes Porta around, and he stays out. So Tib Foster, it might be another case of just a bad pit call. Maybe that's why he was able to get out in front of Porta, because now we're in the white flag. Here comes Porta through the corner. Coming to the white flag, Matty Porta in the race lead in that number 20. Battle for second as Matt Sladek is going after him. Morris, Bobo Jones back there. Strigley's up here. And we're looking back here. Tib Foster's back on track. It does not look like there was anyone else that came on in. Battle for second heating up between Yepes and Sladek. Coming on through here, through turns 1 and 2, now into 3. Right here, and Sladek is going to clear. Matt Sladek with a drive through the field today is going to try to take second away from Yepes. But here it comes through the final corners. Matty Porta in the 20. Does he have enough fuel to make it to the end? He stays out. Caution is out. That's not going to matter. There's no green-white checkered on the last lap. And Matty Porta coming down for the final time through the corner. He's going to get the monkey off his back. Matty Porta, his first career road course victory in the NSDCA. Yepes is going to hold on to second, Sladek third, Morris fourth, Bobo Jones fifth, Strigley comes home with a 6th place position. DJ Gibson fights in the top 10, Duncan a top 15. The 06 recovers, but who was involved in that crash? Tib Foster irate on the radio. Sebastian Kukul on heavy front-end damage to that car. Tib Foster irate on the radio, does not know what happened to the car. He thought he calculated the fuel right, but he came down pit road. He will finish this race 24th after dominating the race. That's something that's going to sting, but he put up a strong fight. He misses out on his 2nd win of the season, but again, that performance shows that Foster is going to be a contender this year, and you should be talking about him for the championship. And those guys stopped for whatever reason. But Matty Porta in the 20 takes home his first road course victory in the NSDCA. The crowd is on their feet. It was Porta versus Foster this whole race. No one could stop him. And Matty Porta finally gets that first career road course victory. It comes at Old Spice. Foster ran out of fuel. This wasn't his. This definitely, Foster was going to drive away from it, but something happened to that car. The 79, I think, ran into someone. That's not Gannon, with all them slowing down like that. But congratulations. Matty Porta's now out of fuel. So what I thought the calculations were right, I said at the beginning of this race, 13 to 18, you could see people pitting, and it looks like if you were pushing hard, you would not make 18 laps, and Porta was pushing very hard. Him and Foster were both pushing hard because Foster knew if he let up, Porta would be able to get him, and it runs out. So Porta and Foster both out of fuel. Maybe that's the strategy there, was have an engine that is horrible on fuel. Larry Hagan giving him a little love tap there. But and Foster right there behind him as well. Foster pulling up to congratulate him. That's nice of them to see. But Tib Foster, heartbreak there. But Matty Porta, you see Christian Vargas is going to give him a love tap now. So Porta, you know, he's wanted this forever. And it's 6 years in the making. Finally gets that first career victory at a road course. That was a pretty good race. A bit mired at the issues with that restarting in the hairpin, as well as the fuel at the end really being the factor between Foster and Porta. And again, don't laugh about it. Tib Foster had that race in the bag, and the fuel ran out. And you even see Porta was out at the end as well. He was only a lap maybe away from having to run out as well, and that could have been Yepes's race, especially if that went to a green-white checkered. Looks like everyone else was fine on fuel, but Porta and Foster. So maybe that's something to investigate. Maybe their engines would produce more horsepower but burn more fuel. I mean, that's legal, but whatever happened, Matty Porta is your race winner. Maybe wanted to race Tib Foster for it, but nonetheless, he wins at the road course here at Old Spice. An exciting event. There was a couple issues, couple cautions, but at the end of the day, Matty Porta finally gets it done. Yepes second, Sladek with a great run into third. Joseph Strigley gets a top 10 for that 63 team. And you also got Logan Cloud, who was involved in an early incident. He finishes 20th, Danny Lloyd 19th. Zach Rogers brings it home 16th for Harmon Benning-Peterson. Good race today on hand here at Old Spice. Might have to come back here next year for another road course race in the NSDCA. But a great weekend capped off here with the Sundrop Cup Series. Thank you guys so much for watching here on the NSDCA. Fantastic race. We're out. We're only 5 races away from the chase. So these guys are starting to really get into the crunch time. We'll get the points on the screen here with the burnout, and we'll see what that chase looks like here into the final 5 race dash to the chase 8 races. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the NSDCA all season long. See you guys next time here on the NSDCA.